Good afternoon. So today I've got one myth to dispel about real estate investing, and that is that rising rates, rising interest rates or mortgage rates are a reason for you to buy a home right away or very soon. You don't want to wait. And the reason why is because the argument goes you want to get in before rates go up too much and then you're totally priced out of the market. Now, this is not true necessarily. Now, I did in a previous video talk with you about investing in real estate during the winter and because rates are low. And I said this could be a reason why you would want to get in now, but I want to clarify that and say it's not necessarily. The mainstream media pushes the narrative that when rates go up, you're going to get priced out. So you better get in now before it's too late. And this is not true. It could be true, but it is a lot more dependent upon your location. Remember, real estate is a local market. And if you're in an area where the prices are very sensitive to interest rates, it actually could be to your advantage to wait. Whereas if you're in an area where the prices are not as sensitive to interest rates, then you probably do want to buy sooner, assuming rates are going to go up much more. And I'll give you an example. I live in a neighborhood in Washington, D.C., where most of the owners of the property are the residents, like they live there. And during the 2008 financial crisis, although I didn't live here at the time, the prices of the properties here didn't really decline that much. They went down a little bit, but for the most part, they stayed flat. And the reason why is because the job market is strong. Government jobs don't go away in a recession. And a lot of the people that own the properties here are the ones who live here. So they really weren't interested in selling. As a result, you didn't really see the prices go down. Now, if you go just outside of Washington, D.C., in a place like Prince George or Prince William County, a lot of the properties out there are investor-owned. And so you have a lot of rentals, and the wages aren't keeping up as much with how much the property prices had appreciated prior to the 2008 crisis. So there you did see pretty big home price declines. And that's because you had a different demographic, you had a different rental market, right? Most of the owners were investors. And so if they couldn't charge the same amount of rents or people were out of a job, they might have to either sell their property because they can't get renters or default on their mortgage. And so the price would then go on auction, or the property would go up for auction. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're in a certain area, like for instance Washington, D.C., where I live, the prices may not be as sensitive to interest rates. But if you're in a city, say Austin, Texas, where the prices are a lot more sensitive to interest rates and the wages of the people who live there don't necessarily marry up with the prices of those properties, you're going to see a lot more sensitivity. So having or buying a property sooner rather than later because interest rates are going to go up isn't a good strategy. What you need to do is you need to look at other variables in your market and recognize your local market for what it is. If it's very sensitive, meaning to say if interest rates go up and the prices come down a lot, it might be beneficial for you to wait rather than to buy now, because you're actually going to get a lower mortgage payment even though the interest rate would be higher in the future. Please post a question or a comment. Send me a private message if you want to talk about it privately. I always enjoy reading your comments, and until next time, I wish you unlimited success.